everyone. My name is Regina Soot, and I serve as COABE's President-elect and Public Policy Chair. I'm excited today to hear from one of our authors from the current issue, Lessons from the Pandemic. I'm excited today to introduce you to Julia. If you want to go ahead and come on and give us tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Julia Monczunski. I do media services work for Black Hills Special Services Cooperative in South Dakota.
Thanks. So thanks so much for writing the article and sharing your expertise. So could you tell us a little bit about why you wrote this article for the COABE Journal?
Yeah, I'd love to. In conversation, just casual conversation with staff at the Career Learning Center of the Black Hills, I knew that they'd gone through a huge transformation overnight, like so many different, programs had throughout our country when the pandemic started. And when I saw the topic come out for this COABE journal, I just thought, I know they have stories to tell, and I wanted to dig a little deeper and find out what lessons they'd learned.
Thanks. So could you share with our listeners maybe how adult education practitioners are going to benefit from reading your article, and then how in turn does that benefit learners?
Sure. In my discussions with the staff as I was writing the article, there were some themes that emerged that maybe they just hadn't known so much before the pandemic. It really opened up some knowledge for them that hadn't been there before because of how quickly the situation changed for learners and for staff. And so I think what practitioners and maybe learners will take away from it is just that digital access is so huge. It's so key to have reliable internet, to have a device, because what our learners found was that where they had gone previously, like the library or coffee shops or even like fast food restaurants to connect to Wi-Fi, it just wasn't available initially. And so that was a huge thing that came out, was like, how can we solve this problem? So I think practitioners might learn from the experience of the Career Learning Center of the Black Hills, how they reached out to partners, creative ways they provided internet for students when they needed to. So that's one thing, one key takeaway. Another takeaway on the theme of partnerships is practitioners might be interested to learn about how the Career Learning Center connected with family literacy and did some different engagement with, we have a family engagement center in South Dakota, and they really partnered with that organization during the time of the pandemic and since then. And they had a variety of family literacy events, and they did some different things on Zoom to connect their GED students with teachers, with other parents. And I think what I heard was just that it created some new relationships that hadn't been there before, because they were having conversations on Zoom with teachers, with other parents, that just really hadn't occurred before. So that would be another area that I think people might be interested in.
Great. Thanks so much for those takeaways for both the practitioners and that benefit our students. So what do you hope that readers, really get out of this article?
I was thinking about that, and I think just that sometimes we take so much for granted. And so when I was working on it and when a reader is reading it, I think you really stop and think about how many things we do in our daily lives are on our computers and phones. And if we lose access to that, we have not only lost access to our own education, being able to do research, but also our children, if they have a online learning system, we can't access that. So it's a very crucial issue, I think, in our country, actually, to think about that kind of access to the internet. So just kind of putting yourself in someone's shoes and being able to think about, wow, I wouldn't be able to, I need the internet for so many things, for my doctor, for my kids' school. It's ubiquitous.
Yeah, I certainly have seen that. I think we're not going to go back to pre-pandemic, right? Like my banking is online, my health insurance, everything's got an app. So I think it's a great article, and it's really great that you highlighted those things that you learned during the pandemic, things that we can continue to kind of learn from. So thank you so much, Julia, for writing for the COABE Journal and for sharing your perspectives with us today. For those of you out there, you can find more information about the journal, including this issue, as well as past ones at coabe.org, as well as watch Meet the Author interviews on the COABE HQ YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.